So by now, you're playing 2v8 in Dead by Daylight, or maybe you aren't sure if this is the mode for you. Regardless, I don't think you're ready for this mode because there's a lot of things that you need to be prepared for when you go into 2v8 madness. If you honestly think that 2v8 is some mode in Dead by Daylight where it's a walk in the park, fuck no. There's gonna be a lot of madness, craziness, and a whole lot of dying. Are you ready for that? In fact, you might be a survivor main yourself and you might not even survive a single 2v8 game just because it is that fucking crazy when you go into these matches. Now, what are the reasons that make 2v8 so bad that you're not ready for it? Let's talk about it. Surviving. Okay, so you're a survivor main and have trouble surviving your games in a regular 1v4 match. Then you're gonna have a tough time surviving in this mode. Don't get me wrong, you might live long enough to get all 8 generators fired up if you're lucky, but that doesn't mean you're guaranteed to live, because by the time all the generators are fired up, most likely there's gonna be like 3 or maybe 4 survivors remaining at most that are still in the game. And you could be one of the lucky remaining few survivors, but that doesn't mean you're gonna live, but you're not guaranteed walking out of this game alive. Selfish survivors. You could be with 2 other survivors on a generator, and the moment someone is hooked, don't be surprised if your own teammates stop working on the generator and run across the map for a hook save, where if they had just stayed on the generator, we as a team would have had 1 generator completed. And I'm pretty sure as we're off to the next generator, there's gonna be someone else to get off the hook on the way. The helpless. If this is your first time playing 2v8, just remember, there's going to be a lot of helpless people in this mode. You thought shit was crazy in a regular 1v4 match? Try 2v8, where it's double the madness. I can't go 30 seconds in a game without hearing 2 people getting hooked by the killer. That's how crazy this fucking mode is. And you know what? You could be one of those helpless survivors I'm referring to. Blood point bonus. If you need to prestige a character in this mode, this is the event for you. So you might be the kind of survivor that dies in every match and you only walk out with 10k blood points per match if you're lucky. But say no more. You too can walk out with 50k or maybe even 100k blood points even if you die. But just remember, these extra blood points are for the survivors, not you if you're a killer main. And okay, this isn't really a bad thing. Extra blood points is always going to be a great thing. But I think the people that need the extra blood points the most are the killers. And speaking of killers, killer lobbies. Are you prepared to wait? Well, obviously you play Dead by Daylight. We all gotta wait before the next match starts. But are you prepared to wait a lot? Well, obviously waiting a few minutes or heck 5 minutes or even 10 minutes is no big deal. But are you prepared to wait 15 minutes, sometimes even 30 minutes to queue into the next killer lobby? No. By the time you get into one killer lobby, you could have gotten at least 3 survivor games, all because you wanted to play killer in 2v8 that day. So if waiting this long for one killer lobby is going to be a problem for you, then maybe 2v8 isn't the mode for you if you're a killer main. Temporary mode. I want to say this right now, this mode is not permanent, sadly. I know, but don't fall in love with this mode, because once this event is gone, it's bye-bye 2v8 until next time. And you most likely won't look at Dead by Daylight the same ever again, because the moment you go back into regular 1v4 games, things are just different. Being stuck. Okay, so I'll be a little specific about this point. Being stuck. I don't know if this is just me, but maybe this is a bug or not. Who knows? But apparently, going up against a Wesker means there's a chance of this bullshit happening. Wait, what the hell? This sucks. What the fuck, man? This is just sad. So I guess, like, who's the other killer then? I mean, oh my god, man. Why is everyone watching me right here? Like, this is just embarrassing. Even the ghost face is here. This is just... What is this game? Now, it sucks this has happened, but don't feel sorry for me. Feel sorry for the ghost face that had to disconnect just so I, the survivor, can queue into the next lobby. And what's worse, that ghost face suffered a DC penalty for that heroic move. And me, I get off scot-clean. And although I didn't get any blood points, at least I didn't get a DC penalty, which is the last thing we all want when playing Dead by Daylight. But with that being said, I'm all for 2v8. If none of the points I mentioned are not an issue with you going into 2v8 matches in Dead by Daylight, then you, my dear friend, are ready for 2v8 madness in Dead by Daylight. And if you are someone who's already playing 2v8, do you love it or do you hate it? Or maybe it's both. If you're a survivor main watching this video, all I can say is keep on surviving in the fog. And if you're a killer main, keep on killing those survivors. Imagine the flashlight worked. That would have been awesome.